Hi, and welcome to Cinema Daily. Today we will be talking about Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I'm Matt Burns, as always, and this is.
Oh, sorry, I'm Stephen Brawl. I didn't hear what you said.
Wow, okay. Today's going to be. Next couple of weeks are going to be a little bit different since we are currently separated for Christmas break. We will be talking via Skype callings. Yeah, that's not a word. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, directed by Brad Bird, who's done such films as The Incredibles and a couple other Pixar films, starring Tom Cruise and Jeremy Renner. Some random hot chick. I don't think she's been in anything before. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So this is about the latest Mission Impossible movie, and basically the Russians are planning to nuke everything. It's pretty interesting, and so Tom Cruise has to stop that. Stephen Brault, what did you think of Mission Impossible?
I actually didn't think as highly of this movie as I was hoping I would.
Mm-hmm.
I found it to be confusing, but I mean, Mission Impossible obviously is supposed to be at least a little bit confusing. But the problem I had with it is that it didn't seem like Mission Impossible. It seemed like Mission Hard, but it didn't even seem like they had that much trouble really doing it. I mean, they had the coolest gadgets ever that basically could, are the only reason they could do anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that the actual Mission Impossible part of it, the part that was supposed to be impossible, I don't think that was strong enough. And they didn't explain enough of the Russians and who the main guy that you're going against is. We just watched Mission Impossible 3, and in that they really go into the bad guy, the character that, is trying to kill Tom Cruise and everything.
Yeah.
Well, in this movie, they didn't really do that as much, which I had a problem with. The action was awesome. Tom Cruise can take a hit like nobody's business. But overall, I didn't think of it as highly as I thought I would. What about you?
Yeah, this would probably be my favorite movie of the year. I
Wow.
thought it was so awesome. Like, I was on the edge of my seat, just like crying with intensity. Because it was just, yeah, the story wasn't very well, impossibly, very impossible. But, I overlooked that because I thought it was an interesting story, and I thought the action was just so well shot. And just the action scenes were just ridiculous. Just the choreograph, lots of hand-to-hand combat that was just awesome, and lots of breaking of everything in their body. Yeah, Tom Cruise destroyed every single bone in his body, but managed to keep
All right.
running and everything. Yeah. I
Well,
th-
I think I had a problem with one, what's that guy's name that's in, like, Shaun of the Dead and stuff?
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. I do not like his character in this movie.
Oh,
It's
really?
just too much, seemed like too much forced comedic relief throughout the whole thing.
Hmm.
And I didn't think that was necessary. I also didn't like I did like the choreography of the action, everything that happened with the action.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the IMAX part of it when they're in Dubai and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think that, like, the Playboy part, or the guy that she has to be all sexy for, at the Indian
Yeah.
ball. I'm talking about Mumbai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that character, that bad guy, I guess, whatever he was just dumb and
Yeah.
just stupid and wasn't good, wasn't developed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think the characters were developed, like, at all. And they just kind of, like, give him a team, and he's, naturally they work perfectly together already.
Mm-hmm.
The Agent Brandt, who, starts out as just an analyst or whatever, he, of course, ends up being this super badass agent, which, I mean, I guess makes sense if he's part of the agency, but,
Mm-hmm.
They were extremely connected, and it just seemed, for me, it seemed forced, especially the comedy. That I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just too much.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of agree with that, but I love Simon Pegg. I'm such a huge fan of his that I want to see him in more stuff, and so like I was just giddy laughing about the jokes that he did. So yeah, yeah, I agree. A lot of the characters weren't very developed. Jeremy Renner, though, like, yeah, what was his character name? Brandt, yeah. I was a little worried coming into this movie because I know he's going to be taking over the series. Since Tom Cruise is like no longer doing them, or he might, but he's been said he's not going to do them anymore. Yeah. And so like I was worried about how he would be as like the main guy, but I think he'll do a good job. You know, I don't know if
I think he'll do well as the main guy.
Yeah,
I didn't like the way they had him at the beginning, where he was asking all these dumb questions, pretending to be stupid. It was just. I didn't think it was good. I knew.
Yeah.
I just, he's obviously going to be some kind of agent. He's not just going to be an idiot that they bring along.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and the best part of the movie was the exchange in the Dubai Tower.
Yeah. That was intense.
When they are choreographing 2 exchanges at the same time on 2 different floors while having to like interact with each other. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
But, that's very spy, espionage kind of stuff that they just kind of left out of the rest of the movie. There's the beginning where they're actually in the Kremlin, and then there's that part. And the rest of the movie is just like, in-your-face action, which is okay. Yeah. The action was good, but it didn't seem impossible. It just seemed that it's very lucky that Tom Cruise can take a punch.
Mm-hmm. I felt like...
a car and then held on to the car.
Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah, I kind of felt like a better, more interesting version of Mission Impossible 2, whereas like Mission Impossible 2 was all about how it looked and the action scenes looking pretty and stuff like that, and the story just kind of took a backseat. I feel like it's a lot better than that, though.
It's better than Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah. The IMAX, we saw it in IMAX. That was breathtaking IMAX scenes.
Oh.
When he's climbing the Burj Khalifa. Oh my god. I felt like a little bit sick when they like peered the camera just like slowly over the top. And it's just like, oh, yeah, that's a lot. It's a long way down. Yeah.
And then that chick gets kicked out of the window.
Yeah. It was I really liked how they opened the movie.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, they open every Mission Impossible with a mini mission,
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the mini mission might have actually been better than the real mission in this movie.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I've never seen like a jailbreak sequence quite like that. It was pretty cool.
The comedy that they had in that part, when Tom Cruise like open them,
yeah,
that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But to keep it going throughout the whole movie, the whole time, even in the very last scene, they have it.
Yeah.
The very last action scene, of course, at the end they talk and everything, but the very last action scene, they have the comedy part.
Yeah.
It's just, come on.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I like the soundtrack. I thought it was good.
Yeah. It felt like every other Mission Impossible soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a friggin' awesome theme song, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, of course. It's probably the best part of the movie is the beginning.
Yeah. All right. So, how many stars would you give this movie?
I'm gonna go ahead and say I didn't think this movie lived up to its standards. The IMAX shooting was good. The action was good. There wasn't enough, and there was too much forced comedy. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.
Oh, okay, 3. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4.8.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even see how that's possible.
Yeah, I think I was just so enthralled by the action and just loved every second of it. And I thought the story was good, and I just think it's like one of the most badass action films I've ever seen.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. All right.
You enjoyed it.
What?
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Okay.
I just didn't.
Okay. Well, this is the first movie we've really been separated on, I feel.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It's about time. Okay, so tomorrow we will be seeing Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. So look forward to that review. This has been Cinema Daily, and have yourselves a wonderful day.